What is up, guys? Brett here with my YouTube channel Good Talk Gaming, and I was sitting here wondering, I wonder if they can hear my heavy breathing in the background, because I am excited. Today we're going to be playing a new game on the channel. It's going to be Wargroove, and Wargroove is very similar to an older game, which was very popular in Japan, was kind of a late bloomer in the West, but it's called Advanced Warfare, or Advanced Wars, and it is a game that I became aware of back in the day on, I think it was Game Boy Advance, and it has the very similar play style. We'll see more of that when we get into the game, but this game also has kind of the charm of a Fire Emblem game with a bit of medieval and fantasy elements thrown in, but it also has a sense of humor all its own. And watching a bit of a Let's Play on a different YouTube channel, I decided, you know what, this fits in quite nicely with my love of tactics, witty fantasy humor, and even like the little anime cutscene we just watched, which I thought was awesome. Yeah, all of this just screams something that I want to do on my channel, and if it is fun, I'm going to continue doing it. If it's something that you guys are watching at home and you like, just let me know in the comments if this is something you'd like to see more of, and yeah, I'll keep playing it. And you know, if nobody watches it, I'll just play it on my free time, so no big deal. But this game does have a campaign. It also has tons of different like play modes. A big thing about this game is that people out there are currently making custom maps to remake old games or to make kind of their own new games. So, without any further ado, guys, let's go ahead and jump into the single player experience for Wargroove. And I jumped into it briefly to check out the campaign to make sure that there was a bit of a tutorial so that I could learn the controls without, you know, goofing off camera. But there is. The beginning section seems to be a bit of a tutorial, and yeah, so it's going to help guide us through the game as we learn about the characters. And I don't want to spoil too much. I do know just a little bit, but I have not played any of this myself, except for this first level. So let's experience it together, and here we go. We're going to abandon the little trial run I did just to make sure that the game had something of a tutorial and didn't just throw me into the deep end. So, one rainy night at Cherrystone Castle. This weather is giving me the spooks. Did you hear that? Cut it out, it's just thunder. So guys, I'm not a voice actor, but I will read some of this and I'll try to put some kind of something into it, because the game has humor, and if you're not able to actively watch and you're just kind of listening to me, I want you to at least know what's going on. Okay. But I'm going to patrol the throne room. Hey, wait for me. So the two guardsmen, one of them hears a sound and gets scared. And here enters our character, Sigrid. Cowards, jumping at shadows and dropping their guard. She kind of looks like a cat lady. I'm not sure what her deal is. I think she's definitely evil. Getting to the king shouldn't be much of a challenge. There he is, all alone in his chambers. How convenient. The fewer guards I dispatch, the quicker this will be, but some unfortunate wretches still stand in my way. I'll start by defeating that one over there. So we need to select her and move next to the swordsman, and we can attack. And it shows us there a percentage.
This is tiresome.
Goodbye.
And we get a cool little like animated cutscene here. You see a little ghost pops out of his body as he dies. It's time. Time my daughter learned the truth. But how do I tell her? Says the king. I'll make my way towards the king's chambers. Select her again. I'm guessing this is maximum distance, the shaded in areas. And the opaque areas, or the clear areas, are the ones where we can still influence what happens. If someone's standing there, I think we can still hit them. Mercia, a long time ago, before Cherrystone was Cherrystone. No. So he's kind of like musing to himself about some long lost history, and something that he has to tell his daughter, who is presumably the princess. This is laughably easy. Yeah, I know, all the guards have no HP. I don't know what the deal is. So let's go ahead and attack this guy.
Are you afraid?
And you'll see if we look around all the different types of units that are kind of about the castle, and it'll make me zoom out and inspect them in just a second here. There was once a kingdom called Cacophony, in a war known as the Great Dissonance. That makes sense. Cacophony and dissonance are kind of similar words. And Mercia is kind of a throwback name to, you know, like medieval Britain. One of the kingdoms that would eventually become Great Britain. This knowledge is too great a burden. Oh, Mercia. I wonder if I'm gonna actually kill this guy. This castle is vast. If I access the overview screen, I can get a glimpse of its true extent. I just need to select an unoccupied tile and pick overview. So for instance, I'll just select this tile as I would a person. And overview. This screen provides me with objectives and statistics. So many humans. How unpleasant. Still, I can avoid most of it. As my objective says, I'm here for the king. I can close this now and return to my task. Okay, so obviously to close overview, pretty simple. But we can take a second here just to look at the map and the map design. I love these maps. The overview screen is pretty cool, and something when I was playing around I learned that all these different, you know, individual tiles, from the flagstone to the carpet to the forest and the water, these are all terrains that you can fight on, and they provide different defensive bonuses, which I'm sure we'll get into in a moment. But you look here, we can see a knight, we can see the alchemists, I think they're called. They're healers, swordsmen, pikemen, I think these are. And yeah, there's tons of unit types in this game, and they get pretty fun. So player statistics, something that I don't think matters much in this level. I'm sure we'll come back to this and visit this. Gold, income, units, and then our objective, which is of course to assassinate the King of Cherrystone. So this is a map we'll be seeing a lot more of, or an overview that we'll be seeing a lot more of. So time to defeat a few more hapless guards and make my way to the King's chamber. Let's take this guy out. And I think there's a way to turn this off.
Foolish.
But I don't think I ever will. I love this type of thing in games. It's very kind of Fire Emblem-esque. And there's definitely an advantage to attacking first.
My little bluebird.
He said, my little bluebird. I'll start slowly, my darling bluebird. I need to tell you something. I can't tell if he's actually talking to someone because there's not another model in there, or if he's just kind of musing out loud, kind of planning what he's going to tell his daughter eventually. So when I did this campaign originally, I got like a little cutscene. It's a very long story about something that happened a very long time ago. So I got a cutscene where I went and I hit this gate to see what would happen in this throne room, and they gave me a little cutscene where the guys are like, "Whoa, what's that?" And then they're like, it's probably nothing, just the storm. And then she kind of was like, "Hey, we need to not wake up all the humans. They're like insects, and if we start killing them, we'll have to kill all of them." So it was pretty interesting. And I'm sure at some point it will definitely matter which position we end up in. Right now it's kind of like, it doesn't matter.
Goodbye.
But in the future, you know, whether or not we kill him from here or here, that type of thing will matter. So that was the last guard. A very long time ago indeed. Why can't the past stay the past? So it sounds like this guy's kingdom is built on the ruins of an older kingdom. Let's see if we can hit this and see if we get that same cutscene. Did you hear that? Calm yourself, it's just the storm. I don't know, I could have sworn that sound came from inside the castle. It isn't worth the time and effort it would take to kill them all. They're like rodents. I should stick to the hallways to avoid the tiresome swarm. I'm wondering, you know, I don't know this game very well, of course. I haven't really played it yet. And I also don't know... It is unfair that we remain responsible for a centuries-old mistake that was not our own. Okay, so a century ago. It's giving us the timeline. But I don't know, like, what if I knock this gate down? It seems like I can. Do I then have to fight all of these guys one at a time? And, you know, is that something I could do? Is it possible to clear this? You, how did you... Alright, so we can...
What?
Sigrid. Oh, crap. Humans are so frail. She's not human, what is she? Do you understand what you've just done? You'll start a war! War? The inane squabble of children. Where is the key?
Safe hands.
You'll never have it. The key is in safe hands, far from the grasp of a monster like you. Safe hands. Before you die, understand this. Nothing is safe.
Listen.
You're making a mistake. Hush now. Oh God. So she kind of looks like a vampire. She floats. She has like bat ears, I guess. Still, the key eludes me. No matter. It's close. I can feel it. Oh, and there's the queen and the baby. I'm guessing that's the princess. So total turns 9. We got an A rank. Okay, so you get ranked. 3 stars earned. I'm sure this is the easiest thing in the world. I wonder what would happen if I went, like, I didn't take that extra turn. Is there an S rank in this? I don't know. Maybe we'll find out.
Yes.
Achievement unlocked. Revenant of Regicide. So here's Emmerich, a new character. Well done, princess. Your skill with the cherry blade improves yet further. I'm guessing this is the cherry blade. Thank you. Her name is Mercia. Okay. And Caesar. Interesting. Caesar's a dog. Loyal companion. Yes, wolf. It's alright, Caesar. It's just one of the royal guard. Lord Emmerich! Oh God. Is this important? You disturbed the princess's lessons. The king, my lord, the king has been killed.
What?
Yeah.
No!
Father.
I'm sorry.
Mercia, I'm so sorry. Who did this? Sir, the assailant appears to have been a vampire. The Felheim Legion. Okay, she was a vampire. Princess Mercia. The murder of your father is an act of war. We must defend the kingdom. War? We're at war? I'm not good at doing girl voices, guys. My voice is naturally deep, and I try to like enunciate just for my videos, so I don't sound like an ogre. So I'll do my best. Congratulations, you unlocked additional lore about Emmerich. I'll take lore. I'll read lore, guys. I'm not a guy that ignores the lore in games. So let's take a look here at the islands. There's some cool ruins. A big tree. My money is that this tree is going to be called like Yggdrasil, something like that from Norse mythology. That's a trope that'll never go away. Here's a volcano. It's like dragon bones way out here. Some desert maps maybe. Very cool. Okay. So we're still in the prologue. Doesn't appear like I can interact with anything. So under cover of night, High Vampire Sigrid makes a daring attack on Cherrystone Castle. So we can replay that mission if we want. I'm guessing we could get a better outcome if we had failed or something. So the breach. An unsure Mercia faces her first test as Monarch of Cherrystone. Let's get in there with our 3 characters. Several months later.
My queen.
Congratulations on your coronation, Queen Mercia. Emmerich, do you really think I'm ready to be a queen?
I have no doubt.
You are your father's daughter. I hope you're right.
Ha!
I think we all know that Caesar's the real boss here. Your Majesty, Felheim scouts have breached the border. Felheim.
What?
They're here in Cherrystone? Oh, guys, it's time to fight some vampires, y'all.
Let's go.
I can do this. I know you can. And the crown falls off. Pick that up, will you, swordsman? Wait, your majesty, your crown. This is the kind of humor I love, guys. She's just like, nah, I'm out. Crown falls off, doesn't matter. So here we're going to get our first look at what I think is going to be a pretty standard style game board for us. And we get our first look at like buildings and the way most of these battles will probably shake out. So these skeletal warriors are Felheim troops. We must defeat them all to secure this region. We should begin by attacking the closest dread swords with our unit of swordsmen. So these are probably very equivalent. This is probably the Felheim Legion's equivalent of swordsman. So it's swordsman on swordsman. This game has a very rock, paper, scissors element, which will make a lot more sense as we get into it. But certain units are going to be better in fights against other units and worse in fights against others. So that's where a lot of the strategy comes in. So she says, right, let's get this over and done with. Alright. So if we attack from the forest, you'll see here in the bottom left, it shows a picture of a forest with 3 shields, what looks like 3 shields, filled in. And I think that gives us an armor bonus. Let's see if it explains that here. So we're going to do 54% damage to them, as I understand it, and they'll in turn do 19% damage to us. So it's very exact. And you'll see we get 3 armor versus 1 armor. And because we attacked first, we took out 2 of their unit models, and their return attack was very weak. So whenever you get the chance, you definitely want to be attacking first. So I turned off the numbers, and I turned on the health bars. So I think normally it's going to have numbers. Let me know in the comment section if you like that, because this is what he's alluding to. It says, notice the numbers that have appeared next to the 2 battling units.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a little number next to each of them. I turned that off and I added this. I felt like this was more classic, and the little numbers for me are kind of immersion breaking. Maybe they're a bit more exact. These represent the unit's health. They appear when it drops below 95%. The number 5 indicates that the dread sword is down at around 50% health. So for us, it's just, you know, we can see the health bar. It's the middle, it's yellow. And my swordsman's down to about 80% health. Got it. So his, if I had it still on, it would probably say 8, and this would say 5.
Very well.
Alright, then let's attack the dread sword with our second swordsman. So let's take a second to observe how far we can move. 1, 2, 3, 4. My queen, may I interject for just a moment? When selecting a target, a damage preview will appear above its head. The damage preview indicates what damage will be dealt by both units during combat. Sounds handy. You see, the health of a unit suggests more than how close it is to defeat. The more damage a unit takes, the weaker its attack power becomes. So a healthy unit is a stronger unit, indeed, but it looks like your swordsman will do just fine here. So it's essentially a 4v2. And you can see how you're able to snowball if you're able to gang up on one unit. Okay, so it's AI's turn, and they've added another unit of swordsmen and a pikeman. More undead? It seems like they're not giving up quite yet. Okay, so they're moving into range of me to attack them, but not in range to attack me, which is kind of a classic, you know, core strategy. Friendly reinforcements have arrived, just in the nick of time. Look, it seems like we've been provided with a new unit type, pikemen. Interesting. This might be a good time for you to learn about critical hits. Look, you need to learn this, girl, queen. Critical hits.
Yes!
All units have conditions under which their attacks are stronger. We call these attacks critical hits. I've never heard of those. Well, you need to play an RPG. Do not worry, my queen. This information is easy to find. Let me show you how to find information about a unit's crit. Alright, so now we get into the right clicking. This is the title info screen. Here we can find useful information about our selected unit. And here we go. Here's the rock, paper, scissors element I was alluding to earlier. This part gives us a good overview of the unit, so slower, more powerful infantry. Critical hit when adjacent to another spearman. So I guess they're calling them spearmen. I've been calling them pikemen. So spearmen here. So they want to be standing next to other spearmen. Good to know. See, but they call them pikemen. That's, see... Ugh. The pikeman crits when adjacent to another pikeman. You can bring up this info screen on any unit, terrain, or structure. Use it often and you'll learn fast. Alright, I'll make sure to check it out. Okay. When you're ready, you can close this window. So let's take a second to review this. So he only has 3 moves. We took a second to count out the swordsman moves, and it seems like they have 4. So there seems like they'll probably be very good defensive units. You don't want to move across the whole map with spearmen. You want to use them probably in groups of 2 to block off choke points. That's what I would guess. The road here is the terrain they're standing on, has no defensive bonuses at all. It may increase our movement speed though, we'll have to see about that. And I'm not sure what this is. So this is definitely like, you know, foot soldier. I would guess this is cavalry. This is probably like war machine, like ballistas, trebuchets, those type of things. Flying units. And then maybe magic? I don't know, or hero units? I don't know what this symbolizes, but I'm sure I'll learn as we get into it. Okay. Or maybe this is beasts. I don't know. But we can see here they're effective against dogs. Swordsmen, I suppose. I don't know what all of these, you know, different types are, but it looks like every unit that's on foot, they're good against. And it's very hard for me to know without knowing what all of these things are, what they're vulnerable against. But you'll see here, this is worth knowing, that they're, in the same way that they're effective against this unit, they're also vulnerable. And I think these are archers. And these are, like, magic users. So they're both effective and vulnerable against them. So good to know.
Very well.
We should make sure that the pikemen stick together. Got it. Interesting. Wants us to move here. Okay. We've lined up our first pikeman. Let's attack the Dreadsword with our second pikeman. So what I'm not sure about is why I wouldn't... From here I could go 1, 2, 3, attack this guy. And then go 1, 2, or just 1, 2, and then attack him again. But I guess the crit is just so much damage, we're actually going to one-shot this dude. That's good to know. So let me draw your attention to the damage preview once more. Oh, the arrow is flashing. Well spotted. A flashing arrow in the damage preview is a good sign. It indicates that you're about to land a critical hit. Alright, so we one-shot the swordsman. Thanks to the placement of the first pikeman, the second pikeman dealt a critical hit. Yeah, you're getting it. She learns fast. Keep your pikemen together will ensure a stronger offense. When encountering a new unit type, it's important to learn about their crit. I will leave you to defeat the rest of these Valheim troops. Thank you, Emmerich. I couldn't do this without you. Okay. So now that they're blacked out, of course, they're no longer movable. We can take a second here to review these guys. Almost certainly identical to ours, just with a different aesthetic. And we can also take a moment to review our infantry. So these are the swordsmen, or soldiers. Basic infantry useful for capturing structures. Critical hit when adjacent to its commander. So we get commander units eventually, like Mercia, Emmerich, and Caesar will eventually take the field. And if they're standing next to them, they will get crits. So that's good to know. And they're only effective against, I think this is archers. And they're vulnerable to a ton of stuff. So fours are slow going, but provide good defense and a means of avoiding vehicles. Interesting. Wow, so we can go into the codex, which is something we probably should have thought about doing earlier. Damage matrix. Wow, so we're getting into some deeper stuff here, and if we wanted, we could probably spoil ourselves on some of the later game units, which I don't really want to do. But we could also check out the different factions, of which I think there are 4. And I'm excited to play all of them, but I'm guessing this is how much damage we do on an attack. at full health. These are all the different types of terrain. All of the different commanders, which I don't really want to spoil because they'll be introduced as we go through it. And this is where the lore is, apparently. Cherrystone's here. You know what, guys? I'm gonna take a second and we're gonna read the lore blurb on Cherrystone. Today's an introductory video. We're gonna finish the map, of course, in just a second. But I like to read these, so I'm gonna include you in them, and I hope you enjoy. So it says, the Cherrystone Kingdom, a peaceful place where pastoral grasslands give way to lush meadows and cool emerald forests. While the Cherrystone Kingdom is caught between the harsh snowscapes of Felheim to the west and the hazardous wilds of the Gloom Woods to the east, the kingdom, for the most part, manages to exist in its own tranquil state. While wary of their eastern neighbors, Cherrystone citizens are rarely actually troubled by the Florid. So the Florid, I think, are kind of like grass-human hybrids, or plant-human hybrids, provided humans don't accidentally wander into the Gloom Woods. The same cannot be said of their neighbors to the west, where the border with Felheim requires constant vigilance. Occasionally over the centuries, leaderless hordes have stormed the border, intent on pillage and plunder, while every few generations, whoever happens to be the current wielder of the Fel Gauntlet decides to make a foray into Cherrystone in a vicious attempt to expand Felheim's borders. Thus, the Cherrystone army is forced to remain on guard at all times. So we're learned that we are caught between at least two other kingdoms. Viking undead vampires to the west, and plant people to the east who live in like an enormous forest, I would assume. So very cool. That's why we read that, guys. Now we have a bit of a better idea of our place in the world. And I think, you know what, we're going to attack with our full health guy first. Do maximum damage, and then should be able to follow up here with the second swordsman and finish it. And because he's standing on the road, he gets no defensive bonuses, and because we're standing on the plains, we get +1 armor, I presume. I'm not sure what the armor translates to in practical terms. So they're going to get the first attack on us, which is rough, because now we're counterattacking with 2 less guys, and we only kill 1 of them. So let's attack with our full health guys, and that should finish them. We're attacking from the water, so we have -2 armor, which sucks. But because it was to finish them off, it won't matter. And I think those are the type of tactical decisions we're going to have to make as the game goes forward. We made ourselves vulnerable, but we made a one-shot attack. So that's the last of them. Well done, my queen. We did it. A good start, but Felheim won't stop there. We must remain vigilant. They'll be back?
Yes.
Yes. And in greater numbers. A whole horde of skeletons? Indeed. And much else besides. I'd forgotten you had so little experience with the undead. I like how he's looking at us right now, breaking the fourth wall. Don't do that to me. Cherrystone is normally so peaceful. I've never seen them here before. But now they're coming, and they won't stop. An undead army. All undead but one. We've spoken in your lessons of their leader, Baldur. A living man. And a necromancer of great power. I haven't forgotten. Well, we should make a move. The undead are likely to be advancing upon other parts of the kingdom. Are likely to be advancing. Emmerich, don't you think Baldur will come to Cherrystone himself?
Yes.
Yes, your majesty, I do. Let's go, Caesar. The real main character of this game. Your majesty, wait! I hope this guy follows her around the entire game and she just never gets her crown. Victory! So yeah, there was definitely an S rank for the first map. I don't know what we get for that, if anything, except for bragging rights. But I'm sure we could have S ranked the first one if we just had not attacked the gate. Congratulations, you've unlocked additional lore about Mercia. So I'm wondering if I hit escape, we can go to the codex from here, and that's what I was wondering about. So I don't want to look at those guys. I don't want to look there. We knew we had this. Did we unlock anything additional? I think it was just telling us about Cherrystone here. So we read that a bit early, so now we don't have to. That's cool. And we can adjust the difficulty. I wasn't aware that there was a difficulty slider. Okay, so it's just standard right now. That's fine. That's awesome that it gives you the option, though. Okay, I think we'll do one more mission in today's episode. I want to keep these episodes around 30 minutes. I hope that's fine for you guys. That should be about maybe one map as they get more complicated. One, mission or map per episode. I think will be a nice pace. And yeah, let's jump into here. But today could definitely be a long episode because it's an introduction to what I hope is a great game on the series and on the channel. So, a plague of skeletons. The Felheim invasion begins in earnest. Let's play the mission. Run, peasants!
No!
The kingdom's overrun with Felheim soldiers. We have to do something. We will hold what land we can. Maybe if we... Who the heck are you? Not so fast.
Huh?
Who are you? I'm the person that's going to smash, bash, and pulverize you.
Call me Ragnar!
Alright.
Fight me!
Ragnar girl, you crazy. So, is this going to be our first battle with commanders? I'm very curious. So she's attacking one of our little villages. And it looks like she's taking it over here. So I think this is where the game is going to teach us about the buildings and their importance. Did you see that? The Felheim hordes just captured a village to the west. They'll attempt to claim the neutral village to the east next unless we stop them. So they're going to come here. So blue is theirs, red is mine, and gray is neutral. Then let's stop them.
Yes.
Luckily, a Cherrystone Ranger is here to help us. So some kind of archer. Rangers are units that can attack enemies from a distance. Let's move it into a position from where it can attack any approaching undead. Sounds good. Game's giving us the strats now, guys. So he's tucked in between two mountains. Maybe that's awesome. From this position, our ranger can attack any enemies approaching
Very well.
from the west. When you want to end your turn, select an unoccupied map tile and then select end turn. So just select like this, end turn. There we go. Could have taken a second there to look at the ranger's unit card, and I think we'll do that this turn. Are you remembering to check the unit info screen to learn about critical hits? Yeah, I didn't. I really didn't. Good, then you'll know that Rangers crit if they attack without moving. We'll attack the Dreadsword without moving the Ranger now. Very good. So, we don't want the Archer to move, so we should select the tile they are standing on. Well, I was trying to read their card. But I guess we should just attack first. So 101% damage, we're just gonna take him out. So now we need to select the tile from which to perform the attack. But since we don't want the archer to move, we simply select the same tile again. Okay, just gonna have to like double click it. And if I ever make like a misclick or something, guys, don't let that tilt you. That'll happen as I learn the game. I might play some custom games on my own, just to familiarize myself with the controls a bit better. We did it! We may have defeated those soldiers, but it's not over yet. The enemy owns a barracks, so this building here. This will enable them to recruit new units. Fortunately, we have access to a barracks of our own. We should select it to recruit a new unit at once. Okay, I'm on it. Okay, so all we have is 100 gold, so all we can make is swordsmen. This barracks lets you recruit 3 different unit types. Swordsmen, pikemen, and rangers. That's right, but due to our current funds, I can only afford a swordsman right now. A single swordsman can make a big difference. Let's recruit one now. So we can look at the rangers here and kind of see what their deal is. So they have a range of 3, a movement of 3. And they're able to move and attack in the same turn, but if they're standing still, they get a crit. So we kind of learned that already. And they're effective against what looks like every single type of infantry unit that there is, but less effective against... But vulnerable. I shouldn't say less effective. They're vulnerable versus these units getting into melee with them or shooting them from a distance. That looks like a commander to me. That looks like Ragnar. So let's make our swordsman. We'll recruit him. And we'll drop him in the front here. Note that each barracks can only recruit a single unit per turn. Right, I'll make sure to remember that. So the game starts us here. They have 1 barracks and 1 like half HP village. And we have 1 barracks and 2 villages. And it looks like we'll maybe be able to take this one here. So select our new swordsman and order it to move and capture the village. Let's do it. So if we were trying to take this from an enemy, they would have defenders like shooting at us from up here, and I think we'd take multiple actions to get in there from what I've seen of the gameplay. So excellent work, my team. Villages bring in 100 gold every turn, so they're incredibly important to the war effort. Right, because more gold means we can recruit more units. So we have 3 now. Correct. In fact, we can cripple the enemy's income by taking their village to the west.
Yes.
To capture a village that is owned by a different faction, we must first defeat it. Then I'll recruit more units straight away and order them towards that village. Dang right we will. Some units are more effective than others at defeating structures such as villages. So maybe that's what this is. It's supposed to look like a building. I advise you to rely on the pikeman's powerful crit for this job. Alright, I'll recruit pikemen and send them toward the enemy village. No, that must not be what that is. Who knows? Okay, so we'll recruit a pikeman, and then I'm guessing we'll do it again next turn as well. And our archer, of course, can't, reach anybody. But the mountain gives us a ton of defense. And I kind of doubt that anyone's coming from the top here. I'll move on to the mountain. You see we can only move 1 tile from there, but attacking from the mountains or being attacked while we're in the mountains will give us a great spot. So yeah, they are coming from the top, so very interesting. Enemy reinforcements to the north. They'll no doubt be heading toward your northern villages. I should have known they wouldn't make this easy for us. I suggest you don't leave the northern path unattended. I'll make sure to leave a unit to protect the northern villages. So I'll probably end up putting her back. That's fine. I'll make one more, well, let's move first. That way we can drop our next pikeman. And I think we'll bring our... See, I'm already kind of learning, guys. We'll bring our swordsman up here. We'll put our pikemen here and we'll advance across the bridge with them to take the village. And we'll bring our one... Ooh, they're able to attack us. So we move within range. That was probably a bit of a mistake. We'll see how much damage they do. But they've left themselves vulnerable to my archery. Which is great. And just, the game is giving them units, but we're generating 300 gold a turn. And we're sitting on a pretty fat bank. So let's attack this. Alright, easy clear. So I think what we can do is, and I've seen this before, we can spend some gold when we're near a village. It takes some of the health off the village, but it reinforces our unit. So we've got our health back. We spent a little bit of gold, which we didn't really need anyway. And we're going to buy another pikeman. And we're going to send our swordsman up here to help guard. I think this is a pretty good strat. And they're going to make more and more swordsmen. And they walked right into our range here. Oh no, I did not mean to move. That might have been a bit of a misclick there. Well, hopefully that doesn't come back to bite me. And now we're going to make another ranger. And this is tough because we do need to cross this. But we certainly don't want to be vulnerable. We'll bring both of our pikemen that way. We'll bring a third pikeman this way. Okay, so they're no doubt going to attack our ranger. She has bonus to defense. Or they have bonus to defense, so they should survive. Cool, they do like a little counterattack. And here they go. They're getting the impetus of their attacks, which is very strong for them. But on the follow-up, we should be able to clean them up. So this is where we're actually a bit in danger. But we do have the 3 armor that they do not have. They kind of give us a freebie kill there, which is cool. You know what, let's move in here. And attack there. So I messed up a bit with the archers. That was something I kind of foresaw happening, but it's not a big deal. So we want to make sure that we're just attacking and not moving. And in the future we can bring our archer back. Let's make another pikeman. I don't think we need the crit. From the pikeman to finish this fight. But I think we definitely want to put our pikemen together. I think they can reach us here. Yeah, and they're going to attack this pikeman, of course. So we're just kind of using these dudes as bait. And they're going to take a ton of damage. But we should get a critical off on them and one-shot them in the next turn. And then we'll be able to pull this unit back to heal, bring this unit forward, and then kind of continue. Let's pull back there and attack and get the crit. So there we go. Because when the tiles are, you know, catty corner from each other and not 100% next to each other, they don't get that bonus. So here we can attack the village with our pikeman bonus. They get +1 armor, we get none because we attack from the road. That's definitely something worth considering. If we had the option to attack from here, we certainly should have, but maybe we did not. Not quite sure. Archer. Can archers even attack cities? I don't know. I do not know. Okay. And here, I think we can just move back. Move back here and reinforce. And that heals. So very cool. And that's it. So we need to click on a empty tile and turn. Wouldn't be surprised if the next mission teaches us about things like, yeah, if we attack here we get the bonus and we just take it, but things like reinforcements, it seems to be a pretty important part of the game. So they won't get to retaliate because we will take it on the first shot. And there's a new village for us. How did this happen? Excellent, you've cleared the enemy from the village. You should capture it to secure it before Ragnar takes it back. Got it. Let's go over here and capture. Move as far forward as we can. And I think that takes... It puts the village up to half health. No. Well done. With no villages, the enemy has no income. You'll notice that a captured structure never begins with full health, so 50%. In fact, it starts with the equivalent of half the capturing unit's health. So if a unit with 40% health captures a village, the village starts with 20% health. Yes. Now we should destroy their barracks to completely remove them from the region.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it. Alright. So had we tried to capture this village with this guy, it would have been, you know, let's say this is like 6 or so. Yeah, 60%. We can actually see the percentage down in the bottom right. So this would be at 30% and much less able to heal us on the next turn if that was something we were looking to do. So let's bring in our ranger. We'll bring in another pikeman and we'll move this other pikeman down the road. Bring this guy here to reinforce and heal him up. And we can always put our archer up here and hide him in the forest. Okay. Very good. In turn. The controls for this game are very smooth. I'm going to get much better with them as I continue to play. But for right now, they're great. And we gave them an attack on our archers. It's not a big deal. Once again, kind of like they're just bait. And we could, of course, continue making units. We can make another ranger. We didn't make a unit last turn, but that's alright. We'll make a unit this turn. So we want to come up here and get the one shot. There we go. Come down here and reinforce. And the village didn't have enough health to completely heal us. We'll get up in the woods there. Get our crit bonus. And we'll reinforce to our maximum gold. Call that good. Yeah, and that's perfectly fine. So let's end the turn again. And we need to be aware of like how fast we're doing this too, because I think that very much affects, let's say, an A versus S rank. I would imagine also like the amount of units that you may lose probably greatly affects that. Check out the range on this. Oh my god, did I do it again? Or did I have to move in order to get this attack? I may have had to. It's hard to know. You can advance through the woods. And we should just go ahead and bring forward our archer. Probably no point to this, but who knows if we let this map drag on, maybe they'll summon more reinforcements from the top. Of course, we're not in any great danger of losing. Archer's out front, kind of baiting the attack. And the pikemen are, of course, just going to sweep in. Just get an attack off on the healthy guys who can't retaliate. Finish these dudes off. Yeah, hey, say the pikemen. And I think that's just going to be a victory.
Hey!
I wonder if it adds to our rank or detracts from it to make more and more units. I feel like it could probably go either way. Our boys here are fully healed, and we can make another ranger. Alright, and that's everyone we need to move in turn. So you can see already, this is a pretty small map. When the maps double and triple in size, which I assume they will at various points, this is going to become, you know, quite the complicated tactical experience, which I'm excited for. And of course we want to attack with our archers first to soften them up. That way when our pikemen get in there, they're going to have a much easier time. So they have 62% health, we'll do 65% damage, and that's going to be a nice easy victory for us. We both get the armor bonus from fighting in the woods, and we're going to attack them up here in their barracks. We get the forest bonus to our defense. Maybe there's a way to read in like the codex about armor. And I think this is going to take it. There we go.
No!
And we still would need to capture it, I believe. This is not happening. Emmerich, we did it. Good work. Chatter, chatter. Go away. Chatter, chatter. I said go away. So Ragnar's not happy. What are... I said go away. We are not skeletons. Oh, it's you!
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. I didn't mean to disturb you. You didn't disturb me, I was lying in wait. Right.
Shut up!
Grr.
Ugh!
This isn't over. So we got a bit of what looks to be maybe like a princess rivalry. So we get an A rank. We probably could have done that a turn faster if we had maybe used the road instead of going through the woods. We didn't lose any units though, and we did defeat 10 units. So, cool. So, congratulations, you unlocked Felheim in the Codex. So let's go ahead, we're on Act 1, Mission 2, the Green Sweep. Let's go ahead and read the Codex blurb, and I think we're going to call that for today. This has been, you know, we're getting close to an hour, and we will definitely want to save some game for later. So let's come in here and read about Felheim. The Felheim Legion. Splintered fjords and rimy forests, broad empty tundra and jagged snow-capped mountains. This is Felheim. It's a quiet place, all sound muffled by the fathomless snow. Sometimes the wind will pick up and howl a mournful bitter song across the icy plains, but otherwise, silence reigns. Here the undead walk. The chill can't reach their weathered bones. Perhaps they look frail to you. They're not. They're held together by more than rotting sinew. They exist by sheer force of will. The living also eke out an existence among the undead, hunting ice boar and blubber seals. Like the land they inhabit, Felheim's living citizens are a quiet people, stoic, no-nonsense individuals. If it weren't for the ascension of a new gauntlet-clad lord every few decades, they'd happily keep to themselves. But there we go. Can't have everything. So they're normally peaceful, but I guess whatever this gauntlet weapon is, I guess it denotes whoever their leader is, and if their leader is an aggressive jerk, he's wielding this weapon and wants to invade us. So, okay. I'm hoping we get to play as all four different, races or, groups in this game, because I would love to do that. But guys, I think that's going to be it for me today. look forward to tomorrow's mission, Worst Enemies Forever. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this playthrough. Once again, my name is Brett. My channel is Good Talk Gaming. I love tactical games. If this is the first video of mine that you see, check out my channel. I have tons of stuff from Battle Brothers to, right now I'm playing Auto Chess, Legion TD. I play Total War Warhammer 2, one of my all-time favorite games. And yeah, I play tons of stuff, guys. Tower defense games. If this is kind of up your alley, then you'll love some of the other stuff that's on my channel, and I hope you decide to check it out. But that's going to be it for me today, and I hope to see you in the next one. Take care.